Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Italian Legend here, and today I want to talk about a little bit more of a serious topic. Um, you'll see in the background is Smite gameplay. It's my first ranked Joust game, um, and I'm playing with one of my friends. But um, that this game I think is very fitting for the topic I'm talking about. So yeah, so let's just jump into the topic, um, which is talking about playing any form of a competitive game, sport, video game, etc. On a competitive level, and trying to overcome the fear of playing on that competitive level, the nervousness of playing on that competitive level, whatever. Any sort of fear, nervousness, that kind of thing that you get when you are about to play something fairly competitive. And these are just 7 tips that I have applied in my life, because I still struggle with this sometimes, to do these things, to be able to play these uh, competitive situations, games, sports, etc. Um, and to have fun doing it. If you're not having fun doing it, then that can seriously hurt this. So um, these will help. These have been this is my advice for being able to have fun in competitive situations, even when you're scared. So um, first of all, let's talk about the first point. Just play the game. Whatever it is, sport, video game, etc. Don't just play it. Don't cop out. The first time, yeah, you might screw up the first game you ever play. Who cares? You're learning. So don't pay attention to how bad you did that game or whatever. Just move on, take it, move on, and just play the game. Um, while you're playing the game, don't listen to comments that are things that are negative but not helpful, such as "you suck," etc. Things that don't have any real advice in it. Don't pay attention to those. Just let it run down your back, and just move on. Um, but you do want to pay attention sometimes to what they are trying to say. Sometimes you'll hear comments like, "You're out of position. Stop being out of position." Um, while this might seem they're angry at you, and they might be, actually listen to the comment. For example, if they're saying you're out of position, stop being out of position, then pay attention to that and see if you can apply that either while you're in game, or next shift you go out for your sport every time after you sub back onto the court, ice, field, etc. Or even while you're playing a game that's ongoing in a video game on a competitive level. See if you can adjust your gameplay so that you fix what they're trying to say. Otherwise, try and fix it after the game and for your next game. Just take note of it. Now, sometimes they'll say things like "stop getting out of position," and for a fact you are not out of position. That's okay. You'll learn over time when you're right. You made the right decision, and what they're saying is just not true, and when to not listen to them. That's okay. But you're not gonna get there if you don't start playing the game and just jump in and kind of do it. That brings me to my next point, which is the first time of playing any game, any form of a competitive level can be scary and terrifying. Um, don't don't let the game mode scare you, or don't let the sport you're playing scare you, because usually what you're doing wrong and how bad you're gonna play and all of that, that's what you're focusing on. You're not focusing on the good things, you're focusing on the bad things. And in order to have fun, just focus on the good things and let the bad things that you're doing wrong, or what you could do wrong in the future, or what you're prone to do wrong, ignore all that. Just play the game, have fun, and focus on the good things. Usually, one way I like to do this is potentially set a goal. So, for example, if you know you're doing something wrong, like, for example, say you do get out of position all the time. Like, getting out of position, you struggle with positioning in sports and video games, etc. One thing I like to do is say, alright, I know I'm probably going to screw this up this game, but this game, I'm going to try and do one or two times where I'm going to have really good positioning. Just make short, simple goals. You don't have to set a goal where you're like, this game I'm going to do really well on defense. You don't have to do that. Just say, I'm going to make one or two good plays this game. And then as time goes on, increase that number. Go, all right, this time I'm going to do 3 or 4 good plays. I'm going to do 4 or 5 good plays. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you're like, all right, I'm going to do really well the whole game. That's something that I think helps, because it sets a goal. And even if you do mess up on that goal, don't worry about it. Like, just understand it's a goal you set. It's an arbitrary goal you set. And you're not telling other people, like, you're not telling your teammates, all right, I'm going to do 1 or 2 good plays this game. You're not telling them that. So the only time that's going to affect you is if you listen to how bad you did. So don't listen to that. Just play the game, set those goals. It might help you. If that scares you even more, then don't focus on the goals. Just focus on playing the game. But for me, that's what I found that has helped a little bit. And don't let any of these things scare you from playing. Don't focus on the bad. Just have fun while you're playing it. Alright, now, that brings me to point number 3. If you need to work your way into a more competitive version of what you're playing, for example, sports, for example, video games, etc., then I think that's 100% okay. Learning the game is 100% part of any game, sport, anything that you do in life. So, for example, if you play sports, playing pickup games of your sport with other random people, for fun, is a good way to basically to work your way into a more competitive level. So what would a more competitive level be? Well, joining a team, whether you're an adult or you're on the high school basketball team, etc. That it doesn't matter. Just as long as you're playing the game to earn more skill or experience for playing in competitive level is okay. There is no shame in doing that. If take this from a video game perspective, if you play a lot of video games, playing games like Team Deathmatch or less competitive, more fun game modes is okay, because it lets you learn how to play the game a little bit more. Now, it may not directly correlate to a competitive game mode. For example, in Smite, there is Arena, which is basically like Team Deathmatch. It's just for fun. People take those modes way too seriously sometimes, and don't pay attention to those people. But playing those games to work your way up into more competitive levels, which is what you're seeing on the screen right now, is okay. I've done that before because I know that I'm not going to play really well if I play in a competitive game with a specific character, specific type of character, or with a specific weapon, or like whatever video game you play is okay to play some sort of less scary, less competitive game mode to work your way into the more competitive game modes. That brings me to point number 4, and that is to understand that you're going to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. If you are focused on the good things of a game, and what you're going to do well in a game, setting goals, things like that. If you've worked your way up into a more competitive game mode, chances are you're probably going to feel more confident and less scared on making mistakes and that kind of thing than if you just jump right into a competitive game mode and get destroyed in the beginning. That's okay. If you want to jump right in and do it, that's fine. Go ahead. Other people might not want to do that, but either way, in both scenarios, people are going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Learn from your mistakes. Don't focus on them while playing, but still learn from your mistakes. If you don't focus on them, it's not going to hurt your performance and your focus as much. Because if you do focus on them, then that's all you're paying attention to, and you're not being as effective and efficient in game or in your sport or whatever as you could be. And just understand that. So understand you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. That's the only way you're going to learn is from mistakes. So just be happy when you make a mistake almost, because you know that you can learn from that, and you notice you have a mistake, so you can learn from that. That's okay. That brings me to my next point, which is after you realize that you're going to make mistakes, just have fun. Just have fun with the game, because if you're not going to have fun with the game, then it's not worth playing, and or even playing the sport. It's not worth playing then. If you're not having fun, that's the whole point. I mean, if you're not having fun, it's not worth it. So, if you follow all the previous things that I've talked about, having fun is one of the more key scenarios. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, just have fun, and it's just it's kind of like a vague term. Like, you can't really tell people, like, here's how you have fun, because everyone's version of having fun is different. But just know, for example, if you start playing more competitive things, and you've played, for example, say you've played like 30 games, whether you're in a video game or in a sport. You played 30 games, and out of those 30 games, you're just not having fun. There's no way on earth you're going to have fun, and you know this. Then it's not worth playing. Then it's just straight up not worth playing. It doesn't matter if all your friends think it's fun. It doesn't matter. Who cares? If you're not having fun playing the game, then it's not worth playing. Find something else to play. That's okay. But the key thing is to pay attention. If you're having fun, that's good. If you're not having fun, then you might want to look elsewhere and find something that you will have fun playing. That brings me to my 6th point, which is don't get down on others that are new. For example, say you've been playing something for a year. Now you're not like completely new, completely don't know what you're doing. You have some idea of what you're doing, like the basics and all that. You still make mistakes, and you're no veteran by any stretch of the imagination. But every once in a while, this new kid comes and plays with you, and it bugs you when he makes a mistake. Understand that he's in the same position you were a year ago, and he's played way less games than you are. So use that to your advantage and teach him. Grow whatever game you play, and teach that person to play better. and be positive to that person, because I can guarantee you if they're having fun, they're going to come back. If they're getting basically like a bunch of people telling them all these bad things what they're doing, they may not come back. And if you want to see more people playing with you and see more diversity in whatever you're playing, be nice to those people, because everyone at some point grew up starting brand new and made huge mistakes like they did. So be nice to that person, teach them in a positive way, and help them out, because they might get on whatever video game you play. They might come to play whatever sport you play because you're there. There have been times where I've played sports. I actually have one sport that I play right now, and I play hockey. So every time I play hockey, there's a couple people that I really like to play with, because I'm pretty new to hockey, but they're willing to teach me, and they're willing to let me make mistakes, because they know we're not playing for the Stanley Cup or an Olympic medal or something like that. They know we're going to be playing just to have fun, and they're willing to teach me with those mistakes. And I can't tell you how many times I don't really want to go and play because there's a couple bad people there. But then I think of those people who are there and realize if I'm playing with those people and they're on my team that morning or whatever, I'll be okay. And I can't tell you how many times that's affected me. And so I can guarantee you there are probably people who think the same thing. If they have someone who is positive to them and helps them out while they play, then they're going to want to come back and play with you even more and learn from you. And that's a good thing. That means they enjoy what they're playing. They're just scared of the negative feedback that they're going to get. And that means that you can actually impact them and help them out. So I think that's something to keep in mind, is when you're playing a game and you're like, what is this person doing? And even in this game that you'll see in the background, my friend and I were kind of like, what is this person doing? And I came to the conclusion afterwards that they might have been new. And even if they weren't new, it doesn't matter. I'd rather treat them like they were new and just played with them and had fun with them and didn't let that affect me, versus playing with someone who may have been playing for 30 years and is just bad. Like it just play with a positive mindset. They might be new. I mean, he was making comments to us left and right, but it's okay. We just played the game nonetheless. We had fun playing the game. That was the important part. So don't get down on the people. I tried not to make any comments during the game, like, what are you doing, that kind of thing. Just play the game, have fun, and realize that you're going to make mistakes. They're probably going to make mistakes too if they're new, or they're not as experienced as you. That's okay. Just have fun playing nonetheless. That brings me to my last point, and I think this is a very key thing that a lot of people forget if they're playing a sport, if they're playing a video game, etc. Have a teachable mindset. If you don't have a teachable mindset and aren't willing to learn from your mistakes, then you're not going to get as far as someone who is in the exact same position you are and has a teachable mindset. Having a teachable mindset could look like this. Let's say you're playing a sport, all right? And you just get off the field and you played some really bad defense, whatever sport you're playing. You played some really bad defense. And the coach comes up to you and is like screaming in your face, like, you didn't do any of this right, blah, 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 just yelling in your face, right? if you don't have a teachable mindset, you're going to just get angry at that coach and not want to play or do anything for that coach ever again, right? If you have a teachable mindset, however, and go and ask questions while you're at practice, while you're in game, whatever, it'll definitely help you to grow and get more experience faster, because now you can take whatever advice you just took and try to apply it to whatever you're playing. So, for example, if you don't understand what you did wrong, and some guy, like for example, say one of your coaches is yelling at you, and you don't understand what you did wrong, ask. Literally, just there have been times where I've been playing a sport, and someone got up in my face and was like, "You didn't do this right. You suck," that kind of thing, and I've literally been like, well, what should I have done? Like, what should I have done? Like, tell me what I should do if that situation comes up again. And just be as calm as possible when you ask these questions. But if you ask those questions, I've had people completely off guard the fact that I asked a question like that, and it calmed them down, and it helped them to give me more positive feedback on what I should do and what I did right. Um, if you'll completely diffuse a situation with someone if they're way more experienced with you and they're yelling at you, because then they'll go, "Oh wait, he actually wants to hear what I have to say, and he's not just like tuning me out." That's okay. That's like what everyone wants, and I can't tell you how many times I've played a sport or a video game with people who don't have a teachable mindset, and they refuse to take advice from people, even if the person is less experienced than them. Like, for example, say they've been playing a sport for years. Like, they consider themselves a veteran. They've been playing since they were like in 6th grade, and now they're in high school, and they consider themselves like an all-star, that kind of thing. If they don't, for example, say someone who plays sports and he's only been playing this sport for like 2 years, and this person who's been playing since like 6th grade, the person who's been playing for 2 years says something like, I don't think you played that defensive role properly. You should have played defense a little bit better. And instead of getting all mad about that, even if they're not as experienced as you, still take that mindset and go, all right, well, what should I have done? Like, what am I doing wrong specifically? Ask questions. It's okay to make mistakes, even if you're a veteran. So that's okay. Ask those questions, and it'll make everything a lot better. I think definitely having a teachable mindset definitely makes it more, a lot easier, I guess I should say, to play anything on a competitive level, because chances are people are going to be a lot nicer to you, number one. And number two is you'll probably make more friends who are willing to stand up and help you as time goes on, because they know you're new, and if they know that you're at least trying to make an effort to change what you're doing wrong, it's going to make them happier, not more angry at you. So definitely having a teachable mindset is probably the biggest thing that I would definitely say is missing from a lot of scenarios, whether you're playing competitive video games, competitive sports, etc. Because just a lot of people don't think about accepting that they made a mistake and then trying to learn from that mistake. Instead, all they do is a lot of people get mad about it, or they just don't ask questions and they move on from it. Which, that's okay too, but just try and have a teachable spirit, because if you don't, it won't be as beneficial for you in the long run, for sure. So that is all my 7 points. Let me know down below if there's any advice that you have that you've taken over the years, on what you use to motivate yourself to help yourself when you play things on a more competitive level. To get over the fear of playing competitively, to get more comfortable playing competitively, to get better playing competitively, all of those things. That was kind of a combination of all those for my points, but all of those things helped me to get over a fear of playing games competitively. So yeah, leave a comment down below on what you think for that. If I missed anything that you think, leave a comment down below. Leave a like for this video. You might, if you like what this topic is, and maybe you want to see more videos like this, definitely leave a comment down below, or even just like the video. Subscribe for more gameplay for sure. I'm definitely going to do gameplay with commentary. I really enjoy doing those. I apologize I haven't done them lately because I've been quite busy, and it's taken a while for me to get some projects out for YouTube here. But yeah, subscribe for more content for sure. I'm definitely gonna try and be more active later in the year. But right now my schedule's a little bit busy. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I can't remember if we win this game or lose this game. I think we win this game. Yeah, we win this game. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed doing this topic. Yeah, leave a like down below, like I said. Subscribe for more content. And comment down below if you want to see more of this stuff or if I missed anything. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.